Greetings from sunny Strasbourg, here again for the first session of the new parliamentary term. A really big thank you to all the voters in the West Midlands, all 228,000 of you who supported Labour, and a special thanks to everyone in our party who worked so hard in the European election campaign. Despite the election being called at short notice, we ran a vigorous and a passionate campaign based around Labour's positive values. Although the European elections took place in May, it was only this week that the newly elected MEPs formally took up their seats in Strasbourg. For the 61% of the new intake, there was a real sense of anticipation and excitement. A really positive buzz was felt throughout the House as colleagues greeted each other inside the hemicycle and shaking hands with the new colleagues and neighbours. Unsurprisingly, the Brexit Party MEPs didn't let the occasion pass to ruin a solemn moment by turning their backs to the Assembly while four wonderful young musicians played the European anthem Ode to Joy. The same goes for the Lib Dems, showing equally undignified behaviour, looking like stewards at a cheap conference in their matching yellow shirts. Now, back in the thick of things, we had 2 rounds of elections to elect new president of the European Parliament, and I'm really delighted that my colleague David Sassoli, an Italian SD, has been elected as our president. Many congratulations to him. He'll be joined by a number of vice presidents from the Social and Democrat family to run the Parliament for the next 2.5 years. Now, after a record 2-day summit, EU leaders yesterday presented the German Defence Minister Ursula von der Leyen as their candidate for the post of European Commission President. A surprising choice, as she has had very little to do with the EU and the EP and had not run as a lead candidate at all at the last elections. I have huge reservations about the process and the procedure that has been undertaken to deliver this package. Really, I don't support this kind of backroom, late-night deals, presenting somebody who's never even shared what their vision might be for the next 5 years, as Franz Timmermans had and Manfred Weber had. Whilst back at home, things are not looking that bright anyway. The Tory party continues as though neither the British people exist or the world outside of our island. While the government should be building consensus to move us forward from the Brexit deadlock, they're using the national crisis as a political football, holding a summer-long leadership election that will leave us with our second unelected Tory Prime Minister in 3 years. The hard rights puppet man Boris Johnson is recklessly preparing for a no deal on October the 31st, and Hunt is no better. Now he's saying he'll abandon talks with the EU a month early and crashes out if he can't reach a deal. I wonder if anybody has told them that the new Commission only takes office on the 1st of November? So it goes without saying that neither candidate has any connection to reality, delivering meaningless sound bites and making promises they can't keep. They don't really care that there are a chorus of people saying that Brexit with no deal is irresponsible, or even that Conservative Chancellor of Exchequer is saying that their spending promises are undeliverable and unrealistic. It all falls on deaf ears. The next Prime Minister will be even less connected to the UK public than the last one, and we had already hit the rock bottom there. They shrugged their shoulders when faced with harm Brexit is doing to our factories, to our jobs, to our homes, and seemed to think that any price is worth paying for Brexit, even the unity of our country. Confusion and chaos is how the far right has always gained popularity, and that is what is happening right now in our country. It is up to you to challenge this and ensure that we do not row back on our hard-won rights in the workplace, on equality and social justice. That is exactly what I'll be doing working with you. There has to be a public consultation immediately to bring the British people into the Brexit process and to find stability and consensus. We need a general election, or at the very least a second vote. As your newly elected MEP, I will continue to make the case for a democratic rights of the British people and the well-being of the region, of the country. To this end, I will fight for an end to Brexit uncertainty. Now, as the only Labour MEP for the West Midlands, I was extremely sorry to lose my colleague Sean Simon. I promise you that I will campaign relentlessly for policies that improve your lives, whether it's protecting workers' rights, standing up to big businesses, or caring for the future of our planet. I will always promote Labour and European values of solidarity and human rights. That's all for now. Goodbye.